Missing from this year's North American International Auto Show are the expensive parties and lavish displays that came to define one of the biggest events for the automotive industry. Now, as the Detroit Big Three struggle to survive in difficult economic times, this year's event looks less like a show and more like a pep rally.
Let's go GM! Let's go GM!
Let's go GM! Let's go!
In a show of strength staged largely for the cameras at the General Motors exhibit, hundreds of employees cheered for their employer. Many of these workers inside the Cobo Center are still employed and fighting to keep their jobs.
It ain't about the Big Three. It's about you and me.
But outside the hall, many of those demonstrating are either unemployed or dangerously close to losing their jobs.
Well, we got the gold, we got the share.
Keith Kennedy, an auto worker with Chrysler who has been out of work for 2 years, is angry at the government for bailing out financial firms on Wall Street without extending the same helping hand to the auto industry.
Basic premise is they give $700 billion to big banks. They don't even ask them what they're doing with the money. All we're asking for is some help here, and they call it a bailout. They're not bailing anybody out. It's a loan.
Frank Warren worked for General Motors until he was laid off in October. He blames GM's current woes on company executives.
The event that led to my latest round of layoffs was a bunch of bad decisions being made by a bunch of executives overpaid themselves. That's what led to where I'm at today. We had no idea as workers that we were on the verge of bankruptcy. They didn't tell us we were on the verge of bankruptcy.
GM President Fritz Henderson accepts some of the blame.
No, I think we've certainly made mistakes. And I can just speak to GM. We've made our fair share of mistakes. We learn from them, we correct, we adjust. I think it's any good business. If you're taking the right risks, you're going to make some mistakes. We've made some. And we need to correct them to make sure that we can win, learn from them, not repeat them.
GM's effort to correct those mistakes was highlighted at the auto show with the Chevrolet Volt, an extended-range electric vehicle. It will be the first electric-powered vehicle offered at a price most people can afford and is at the center of the General Motors turnaround plan. While the battery technology that will drive the Volt is still being developed, GM plans to start selling the car in November of 2010. Henderson says the future of the company depends on the success of the Volt.
Yeah, quite a bit of riding in terms of technology, in terms of our image and reputation, and over time in terms of our ability to potentially use this type of technology to help transform the automobile longer term.
In transforming the automobile, GM also plans to create more jobs in the state it calls home. Though final negotiations with state lawmakers continues, GM plans to build its new battery assembly plant in Michigan, a welcome move for hundreds of unemployed auto workers looking for a way to get back on the job. GM's competition is not far behind. Chrysler also plans to add an extended-range electric vehicle to its lineup by 2010. Ford plans to have an electric vehicle ready for consumers by 2011. Kane, Farabaugh, VOA News, Detroit, Michigan.